Life is fleeting, and every minute passes by. Why do we waste time fulfilling the expectations of others? This question was raised in Chuck Palahniuk's novel, Fight Club. The film adaptation of Fight Club, directed by David Fincher and starring Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, and Helena Bonham Carter, is considered one of the most influential films ever made, recognized and beloved by many. While Fight Club does not shy away from violence and contains a fair amount of coarse language and shocking behavior from its characters, the story is not just about a group of men gathering to fight. It speaks to a generation that lacks purpose, feels hopeless, grows up with misguided expectations, and is increasingly subjected to strict societal standards. The story poses the question: if our lives have no meaning, if God does not care about us, then what are we to do? How do we find meaning in an existence that seems meaningless? This video explores the philosophical ideas that Fight Club brings to us. For those who are unfamiliar with the story, this analysis will explain and reveal the plot. Fight Club revolves around three main characters. The story is narrated in the first person by an unnamed character often referred to as the narrator, a man working in a large car company who feels trapped in life, stuck in a mundane office job, and reacting to the soulless consumerism of everyday life, which he calls IKEA nesting instinct. Bound by societal standards, he obediently follows suit like a good little sheep, leading to a life of pretense, repetition, and emptiness. He suffers from severe insomnia, unable to sleep fully and often plagued by self-destructive thoughts, manifested through negative ruminations while traveling by plane. On a flight, he meets Tyler Durden, an eccentric and daring character. Tyler, unlike the narrator, is a wolf, free and unbound by societal rules. He does what he wants without seeking permission and lives an independent life, unconcerned with material possessions or fame. In the subsequent part of the movie, it is revealed that Tyler and the narrator are one and the same, with Tyler being just a figment of the narrator's imagination. This could be induced by severe insomnia combined with dissatisfaction with a dull, meaningless, and imposed life. The narrator participates in support groups for specific illnesses, often crying to release emotions, which seems to be a way to alleviate symptoms of insomnia. However, his weakness lies in dishonesty. He doesn't have testicular cancer or blood parasites but pretends to benefit from the conversations in the support groups. However, this benefit ends when Marla Singer, a woman attending the support groups, also starts participating. Marla is someone who lives self-destructively, constantly expecting death that never comes. Despite the differing personalities between the narrator, Tyler, and Marla, they all face the emptiness in their lives. Tyler seems to have discovered the root cause of this emptiness, and throughout the story, his solution is unveiled. Unfortunately, his character has turned into an anti-government terrorist, transitioning from a gentle father figure to someone wanting to dismantle modern civilization. However, Tyler has unearthed and exposed a series of harsh truths about contemporary life worth contemplating. Tyler's anti-consumerist stance becomes evident as he expresses concerns about modern lifestyles. Right after the narrator discovers his apartment engulfed in flames, he realizes there's no one to call, and eventually meets Tyler. As the narrator laments his loss, Tyler reacts indifferently and somewhat sarcastically before beginning to share his perspective. Tyler says, "We are consumers. We're the byproducts of a lifestyle obsession. Murder, crime, poverty, these things don't concern me. What concerns me are celebrity magazines, television with 500 channels, some guy's name on my underwear." This demonstrates Tyler's strong opposition to consumer culture and the loss of human freedom in modern society. Rogaine, Viagra, Olestra, and Tyler Durden. This iconic quote from Fight Club ends impressively. Clearly, Tyler has a unique perspective on what is good and what is bad. Murder, crime, and poverty are often seen as bad, while consumer goods like TVs, branded clothing, and beauty products are considered preferable. Tyler scorns artificiality, in stark contrast to the natural elements of humanity, which perhaps we should hold on to until we exist. This mindset is reminiscent of a classical skeptical philosopher, Diogenes of Sinope, who believed that modern civilization had stripped away our natural essence. At the end of the film, it seems that the narrator has self-destructed his apartment as his alter ego, Tyler Durden, takes over. This action marks the first step towards divesting from possessions, moving towards a more authentic lifestyle and, in Tyler's words, rejecting the basic assumptions of civilization, especially the importance of material wealth. The narrator moves to live with Tyler, in a constantly leaking, powerless, and care-less dilapidated house. This demonstrates their independence and strong opposition to consumerist culture, and their optimism for a simpler and more natural life. Slowly but steadily, the narrator truly separates from his previously destroyed possessions. Tyler once told him, "The things you own end up owning you." And this simple yet profound wisdom can haunt you, as the narrator realizes that he doesn't need these mundane material possessions and is actually much happier without them. Tyler Durden is a rule breaker, once again showing alignment with Diogenes, who not only accepted living in poverty but also opposed social norms. To him, societal structures are nothing more than a facade imposed upon the true essence of humanity. Diogenes lived in a barrel, Tyler in an abandoned building. Diogenes relieved himself in public places, Tyler in a soup bowl at a restaurant. Diogenes bit his opponents like a dog, Tyler expressed defiance by inflicting pain upon himself. In contrast, the narrator seems to embody conformity, adjusting his life to reflect societal expectations. The issue with this behavior is that we place our existence under the control of others, rather than determining the path we want to take. The need for conformity, concern about others' judgment, the pressure to live up to the Joneses all contribute to a tense life, just to feel accepted. But what if we stop caring? What will happen if we reject common standards and choose our own values, determining our own path, regardless of societal expectations? That's the fundamental difference between the narrator and Tyler Durden, who famously said, "I am free in ways that you are not." In the next part of the story, Project Mayhem, a terrorist organization led by Tyler, evolves from Fight Club, serving as evidence for conformity as its members wear identical uniforms, completely uniformed and devoid of identity, much like space monkeys ready to sacrifice themselves for a higher purpose. It can be said that when we reject one system to become nonconformists, we often fall into another system. In Fight Club, fighting and experiencing pain play a crucial role. As the story begins, Tyler asks the narrator to hit him as hard as he can. His strange reasoning is, "How can you know yourself if you've never been in a fight? I don't want to die without any scars." The result is both engaging in a fight and then surprisingly feeling relieved, deciding to start over. This action ultimately leads to the establishment of Fight Club. Fight Club is not just a physical challenge to confront difficulties through bodily experience and catharsis, but also a mental challenge. It demonstrates that willingly facing pain can make us stronger, and the story also suggests that after other battles in life, we become less emotional. However, Fight Club is not just about violence, it's also about the allure of freedom from the constraints of society and civilization. The story had such a strong impact on audiences that it led to the emergence of actual fight clubs. This video doesn't advocate violence. However, Fight Club raises the question of whether we should continue to suppress this primitive aspect of human nature or not. Should we integrate it positively and constructively? As the story progresses, Tyler and the narrator begin to see the world from a different perspective. Tyler criticizes the idea of self-improvement in modern society by saying, "Self-improvement is masturbation. Now, self-destruction." This statement may seem bizarre, especially when we look at the destruction in Fight Club, with faces slashed and teeth knocked out, hardly a sustainable lifestyle. However, Tyler may understand that self-destruction could be a way to destroy the false self. Self-improvement often focuses on accumulating external possessions, a nicer house, a better job, a better body, more money. But why do we always seek to improve ourselves? Why can't we be content with everything and accept life as it is? Or as Tyler says, I say never be complete, I say stop being perfect, let's evolve, let the chips fall where they may. End of quote. Tyler believes in destroying the false consciousness about ourselves, which is defined by possessions and social status. For him, this destruction is necessary before we can be free to do whatever we want. Therefore, members of Project Mayhem live by a simple mantra. You are not your job, you're not how much money you have in the bank. You are not the car you drive. You're not the contents of your wallet. You are not your car keys. You are the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world. Tyler performs what he calls human sacrifices, specifically targeting a man named Raymond, who works in a convenience store with a dead-end job. Raymond dreams of becoming a veterinarian but gave up because he studied too much. Tyler threatens Raymond, saying if he doesn't start studying within 6 weeks, he will kill him. In this scene, Tyler highlights another aspect of self-destruction, letting go of fear, negative self-talk, and all distractions, so we can fully focus on our goals. It's the destruction of everything inside that helps us live life on our own terms. Indeed, many people try to avoid pain, but the problem is that avoiding it only postpones an inevitable part of life. Facing pain makes us anxious and often leads to decisions based on hedonism. That is, choosing the less painful path, even if the painful one ensures more success and happiness in the future. Tyler Durden confronts this issue by using lie to cause a chemical burn on the narrator's hand. As predicted, the narrator tries everything to avoid the pain. He uses visualization techniques he learned from a seminar and retreats into a cave to find his power animal. But Tyler confronts him head-on, forcing him to endure the pain and saying, "This is the greatest moment of your life, man. And you're off somewhere missing it." For the narrator, Tyler has a central goal. He must hit bottom. After making him confront pain and destroying his false identity, there's still another aspect to be crushed: hope. Losing hope is freedom. And so, he must reject what rejected him, his father and God. Quote, "Consider the possibility that God does not like you. He may even hate you." End of quote. Tyler argues that we don't need God. We shouldn't care about redemption and blessings. And if we're just unwanted children of God, so be it. This, while depriving us of hope, also frees us from the control of religion and the authority of a father figure. Now, we are truly free. We can create our own meaning in life and live the way we want. Tyler emphasizes knowing what we want in life. To do this, we must be willing to leave our comfort zone and venture into the unknown without any guarantees. However, the narrator struggles to let go of safety. He pleads with Tyler not to disrupt as he releases the steering wheel while driving and presses the gas pedal. Tyler calls the narrator weak and shouts, "Hitting bottom is not a weekend retreat. This is not a seminar. Stop trying to control everything and just let go." After an inevitable car accident, Tyler says they've just had an experience close to life. Fight Club is a story of rebellion against conformity and the desire for a simpler life. It condemns the excessive focus on safety and material possessions, as well as the reliance on societal norms to dictate life. Consumerism has become our deity, and we worship IKEA and Starbucks like saints. As we sink deeper into such a hollow and incomplete existence, we begin to become manufactured products rather than genuine human beings. Tyler points us towards a way out of this state. Although his insights are profound, implementing them remains dubious. Fight Club, along with its offshoot Project Mayhem, a terrorist branch, shows us that resisting one ideology only to fall into another is not easy. A room full of echo chambers resembles a cult built on rigid beliefs that can lead to dire consequences. However, Tyler challenges us to be self-reliant and not depend on authority, to live a truly authentic and confident life, face our fears, courageously step out of our comfort zones, and confront the unimaginable possibilities. This is truly a challenge for us all. Thanks for watching.